take great pride in my Christmas tree decorating skills.
Well, we're live, and there she goes. As soon as I hit the live button. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of Sequester Season 3. And tonight we have a special guest. We have RHAP's Brent Wolgamott with us.
Oh, I was about ready to. I thought you were talking about Kim the Tina. I'm like, that's the real special guest, and then I realized she wasn't here anymore. So, but yeah,
she's just gonna come and go as she pleases tonight.
I
okay?
insulted her Christmas tree, and then she was like, "I'm not doing this shit anymore. Goodbye."
It's the holidays. We're all in misery.
That's true.
So we have a lot of people in the chat. We've got let's see here, just so many people. Wings 728, Pokemon 9, Joseph Boza, Mars as always, Tracy Burke, and Bill Methling. Hello everyone, welcome. We don't really have a format for today's show. We're just at the halfway point of Sequester Season 3, and there's so much drama and everything that's been going on, and we all thought this would be a great opportunity, since there's not a show this week, to kind of go over everything that's been going on. So how does everyone feeling about this season so far? Brent, you go first.
I'm feeling great about this season. I feel like this season just got started in the last episode. I feel like that character-wise, that the season has been great. I feel like narratively, story-wise, this season has been on the weak side, if I'm being honest. I don't know who's aligned with who. I don't know who has allegiances with who. I don't know if they care enough to vote together on the next vote. I don't know if they don't give a shit and they have the view that Sequester is a short-term game, which I know many people have that view. So I feel like that I would like to know a little bit more narratively about what's happening, but I also understand that it's a one-woman show who Audrey Middleton is producing, directing, cinematography, art direction, editing. She does everything. So it's her vision, and I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regardless of like how big or small the production team is, I feel like it's impossible to tell the story of all 20 of these people and where they stand and who's with who, like every single round. Because and Kim, maybe you can speak more to this, but I'm sure it changes every single round.
Kim,
right?
show us your board.
Okay.
Okay.
So, being the slightly obsessive person that I am, I do keep track of the players and the alliances that are no more. See, like we started out in week 1 with the bros, right? With Matt and Drew and Kevin and Thomas. But then we lost one of them. We lost Thomas.
We lost Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
We lost Matt from the game. We lost Thomas from the alliance.
Right, but week 2, Matt was still in.
Oh, okay, okay.
At the end of it. So it was Matt, Kevin, and Drew, but Thomas was the rat, so they got rid of him, or the weasel. So then it was down to and then we lost Matt, so then we were down to just Kevin and Drew, and now Kevin's gone, which means Drew has no bros. So he's down here all by himself. Same thing with like Kristen was with Dina and Braden, but Dina and Braden are gone now, so Kristen's flying solo. Jayla, Christine, and Jessica are still the strongest, I think, alliance because they've been around since they were hanging out, eating pizza on the bed. But they've kind of brought along Thomas as a number. So we got him in there too. I have no idea what's going on with Hunter and Erica, if they're still the undesirables or not. They were brought up in week 2, and then we really haven't seen them together since. But then we had Erica with Cameron and Tori. But now Cameron and Tori, but they're no more because they don't trust her at all. But is Braden in there kind of with Erica? I don't know.
Braden?
So I'm looking at it going, so it seems like the people right now that have, did I say Braden?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I said that they're broken. Not Braden, broken.
Oh, okay.
Broken.
Yeah,
Braden's out of the game. What are you talking about?
I know. And so it seems like the ones that have nobody right now, based on the narrative, is Hunter, unless he's with Erica, but Dustin, Ty, who's Ty with?
Well,
he said that he's with the guys.
Okay,
that's what he said last week.
I feel like it's easier to talk about the people that do have ties together. Like the only people that I see that really have ties together are Drew and Erica, and to a lesser extent, maybe yeah, I know, but who else do you have? Like who else is together? Like,
right now, I've got Drew and Erica, and then I've got Jayla, Christine, Jessica, and Thomas with a question mark.
They're all in the bedroom together, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right.
I feel like Jayla has a really good connection relationship with all the women remaining in the game. I think that she probably has the most fluidity in terms of like who she could bounce around with. Like I'm really impressed with Jayla's game so far. I don't know what you guys think about her, but I feel like she just has like such a strong hold on the game, but not in like a Cameron sense that like she's out in front and everybody is realizing what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Like I said, I overall I enjoyed the season very much, but the thing that I've gotten like pushback more than anything from my followers, the people that I've been trying to get to watch Sequester in the RHAP community, is that I don't, like I love season 2 so much because I could instantly tell who was with who. Then I can't really tell this season, and I don't. I have to believe that Audrey's aware of that. So I feel like it's more. And we're all friends with Audrey. I'm not trying to dump on the show or Audrey or anything like that. I'm just being real about it. I have to believe that it's more a reflection of the contestants more than anything, in that so many of these people have short-term views of the game and that they really don't have any major alliances with anybody.
Well, and this is something Tyler was asking about before I whipped out the board, but it is kind of a short term because it's so fluid and it changes so much. And having this team double elimination, I think broke up so many narratives that we would have seen drawn out. But the way they voted people out, they're playing a week-to-week game right now instead of a long-term game, which I can kind of understand. But I think we're going to see that flip on its side next week when we end the pre-jury stage and get into the jury stage. Because when you hit jury, now you've got to be communicating and talking with people, because you're going to get pulled into a battle match if you don't.
Kim, did you notice the difference in like connections that you made pre-jury and post-jury? Like, were they a little bit more strong? Were they a little bit more presentable to like us as a viewer once you got to jury?
Yes, I would say for the most part, yes. Pre-jury, I mean, myself, I had a really strong connection with Ashley that went right up until Ashley was out of the game. I had a really strong connection with Cam until final 2, actually. I mean, like we're talking day 1 until final 2. And I also had a pretty strong connection with Jake. So those were kind of my people that I knew I could work with and play with.
Right. I feel like it was pretty easy to see in season 2, like who was with who, because we knew that you were with Jake and everybody else was basically together. Like it was like this majority alliance of a bigger group of people, and then you and Jake on the outside. And that was the episode where like they wanted you to target Jake, but you didn't want to target Jake, right? It all blends together because I binged this show and then I went back and watched episodes of it here and there. But like it all blends together because like all the shit hit the fan during like, final 9, final 8, final 7 is definitely where I feel like you hit your stride.
And I think that's going to happen this season too. I think we're going to see them kind of coagulate into groups, beginning with this next episode. And then we're going to see them align. I think then we're going to see the strong alliances. Hey, you're my final 2, ride or die till the end kind of stuff. But for some of them, I think it's going to be too late. I don't think they've built the bonds in pre-jury that they needed to. And so I think it might be too late for a few of the people.
Some of us. Give us names, Kim. Who do you
I was
think
going to say, you can't just drop that. Yeah.
Spill the tea. Go ahead.
Okay.
And just to be clear, none of us are spoiled. Like none of us know.
No.
No, we don't know anything.
for season
No.
3. Yeah, which
No, we don't know anything.
love the fact because I feel like I can say anything, and then like you know if it comes true, I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking genius.
Before we start the exit interviews, we actually tell the people like we don't want any spoilers. So like any questions that we ask you, like please do not give us like any information. We want to like be along the ride with all the viewers. So.
I mean, even when I was in LA, those little shits from season 3, I had one come up and go, "Oh, I was so excited to take a picture with you so that we can have the season 2 and season 3 winners." And I was like, "What? No, don't spoil it." But I had 6 people do that to me.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
so
they're
just
throwing
fucking
you
with you.
They were just fucking with me, and it was so wrong. But right now, I think the people, surprisingly, I think Dustin has made enough social connections that I think he can go pretty far. I think Kristen is playing a smart game, but you cannot fly solo, but she's doing enough socially that I think she will get in with a group for voting. So I think that'll be good.
Just to be clear about Kristen, I feel like that she wasn't flying solo up until the duo twist, and then she lost 2 of her allies in one flipping episode, and now this past episode she was flying solo. My take on Kristen is that she has one more episode to get it together. Like she has one more episode 5, cycle 5, to find some allies, to find a nook and cranny to get in with. I feel like at the start of episode 6 or cycle 6, probably when there's going to be some sort of double elimination. That's when they did the floater night twist from season 2. She really needs to have some allies, or I feel like she's going to be on the outside looking in.
I agree. Hunter, I think Hunter is going to be in big trouble. I really don't.
Really?
Yeah, because he's still kind of, we assume he's still kind of with Erica, but who else?
Well, how Cameron feels about Erica is how I feel about Hunter. Like I just like do not like him for some reason. Like he's really rubbing me. Like his gameplay is really rubbing me the wrong way. I did like what he did last week, but he just seems too much of like a free agent in like I'm like a diabolical genius kind of way. But like I don't think he really is. I think that he thinks that he is. Yeah,
and I think that his eventual, because I know it's going to happen. I just know it will. Temper is going to get the best of him.
Well, it's one thing if you are a free agent and nobody knows about it, because I feel like the best free agents in the world are the people who people look at them and they're like, oh, well, he's really with me. Or I know it seems like he's with everybody, but I know I really have his allegiance. Yeah. If people look at you and they go, I really don't know who he's with, then I feel like that people could come together and vote you out.
Yeah, he's expendable.
Zach's another one who I think is expendable, but these people are killing me because they knew he had an LOS and didn't flush it. So now you go into the next round with him having an LOS. Depending on what it is.
I'm just saying this. If he has that LOS at the end of episode number 5, I feel like then we have to call him the winner. We have to, because like if they don't pick him for a battle match to just get rid of it, like all they have to do is select him. He uses the LOS, and then they pick somebody else. That's all they need to do. If they let him keep that into the jury phase of the game, I am through with these people.
Exactly.
Somebody's asking who's Zach.
That's isn't that Dustin's mom? I'm pretty sure.
Do you think that it kind of was a side note and they just kind of forgot that he had the LOS because of all the drama that was kind of swirling around? It's almost like they're kind of letting that get the best of them in the situations.
I feel like that. Well, a couple of things. Like he was never even up for elimination. That was the main thing. Like Cameron and Tori were the ones who did that. If they would have put up Zach for elimination, then maybe we would have had something to talk about. But he wasn't even able to be eliminated there from the vote part of the match. And then obviously Kevin had already preordained that I'm going to pick Cameron and Tori if I get eliminated, and he was true to his word. So that's why Zach was able to keep a hold of that LOS. Just a bunch of different circumstances that came together that allowed that to happen.
Yeah, so I thought that was horrible gameplay on, honestly, on Cam and Tori.
Yeah.
All they had to do was put Zach's name out there. Zach plays his LOS, comes off the nominations, so he can't be voted out.
Yeah, I just feel like they could have done a better job listening to the Knights and what they wanted. Like Cameron and Tori like really put their foot down a little too hard, and of course it bit them in the butt.
By the way, I watched your interview with Kevin, and I really didn't see either one of you taking him to task for his mistake of telling everybody, like, hey, I'm going to put Cameron and Tori into the battle match. I mean, that more than anything, that was the reason why he was voted out over Drew, was because everybody else knew, oh, hey, I'm safe. As long as we vote out Kevin, he's going to pick Cameron and Tori, and I know that I'm good. That's
mean, so I listened to you and Taryn's recap.
I was through with Kevin.
And when you said that, like when you brought up that point, you and Taryn, I was like, shit, I didn't even think about that, but you're so right. Like, so whenever, like, you know, if this happens someday, if I ever play Sequester, that is such a good thing for me to keep in mind. Do not ever vocalize to everybody who I would pick in a battle match, because then that's going to incentivize everybody to vote you out because they know exactly who you're going to pick.
And the reverse is also true. Don't ever tell your allies or your perceived allies, oh, I won't pick you for the battle match if I am the person voted out. That absolutely does you no good. In fact, harms you, because then they know, okay, well, I'm going to pick, like, that's why they picked Matt for the battle match, because they were like, well, he told us all he's not going to select us. And if not for Jay West doing his Jay West shit at the end there of the episode, then I feel like that Thomas, like Kevin wouldn't have been selected by Matt. It would have been Thomas.
Exactly.
So then
still pissed about. Like, you want the weasel to get his.
Yeah, right. Is the ideal move then to just not say it, to just like keep it to your chest? Do you know what?
What I would say is, you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Like, hopefully it doesn't come to that. You know, I really hope it doesn't come to that. But, you know, the people who I'm loyal to, you know who I'm loyal to, you, and I would stick with that. I feel like you have to be like cattily vague about it, the way you phrase it, in a way where they know that you're being vague, but they really can't pin you down on what you would do. Like, yeah.
I think in Sequester, it's okay to throw out names on who you might vote for, or who you might battle with, or things like that. And because we saw it done successfully, we saw Judd do it to Hannah. We saw
for a vote.
Judd the first time around. We saw Hamza. Hamza was like, I'll let you know right now that if I get voted out, Jesse and Cam, I'm taking one of the two of you into battle. And then what's he do? He picks me. But, you know, I think that's one thing. But to actually in front of a whole group say, if I get voted out, I'm taking the two of you. After they've already put you in, you're already
right. That was my problem with it. Yeah, it was already done. Like, there was nothing you could do to change his fate at that point.
He should have threatened beforehand, before they put him in
privately.
Well, they couldn't talk to. Remember that he couldn't talk to royalty. He could only talk to the Knights. And if royalty had listened to the Knights, Kevin probably would not have gone in.
That's true.
I wish we had remembered to ask him, but y'all have to understand. And Tyler, you're with me on this. I know when we put these interviews together, we have to edit the shit out of it, because I don't know what it is about clicking a link to get in here to is so difficult. Bless their little hearts. But it was like we lost Kevin like 6 times. Like, we couldn't keep him in here to do the interview. It was really hard. And like, we were like, okay, we got to hurry up because we got less than 10 minutes with this guy. And we're just trying to cut. In my mind, like, went blank because I'm so scared I'm gonna lose him. So I wish we had hit him a little hard. I guess I'm the only one who kind of likes Kevin. I don't know.
I liked Kevin.
I just don't like his gameplay.
He's just an arrogant little prick, and I love it.
Well, I like that too.
I love it. He's just, I'm not apologizing for shit. This is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it. Get over it.
Allison, he played great up until then.
Oh, yeah.
I liked most aspects of Kevin's play up until that moment when he decided to target Cameron in front of everybody. That was the moment where I got off the Kevin train, and I'm like, dude, like, because again, there was no reason, like Kim and I talked about this, Drew is a devastating competitor. There's no reason why he should not be voted out there. For them to actually pass on targeting Drew and instead target Kevin, it is mind-blowing to me, and the only reason why that happened is because of what he said.
And honestly, if I were one of the other 14 people sitting there, or 8 people, I guess it was, that were sitting there, I'd be like, I'm voting him out. I wasn't going to, but now that he's made it clear that he will drag Tori and Cameron, yeah, I'm voting his ass out because then I'm safe.
That's what Taryn said too. Like he's like, ordinarily I would have probably targeted Drew, but given what Kevin said, I would have had to switch my vote to Kevin.
And can you imagine if Kevin is the one that comes back? I mean, I just keep thinking to myself, like, good God, if this guy comes back.
Yeah, let's talk about
dimples.
That. I have a question about that. So does this cast know that that is going to be the game played for the jury buyback? Is the circle game?
Say again? Yeah. What'd you say?
Does this cast know that the circle game is what they're doing this year? Because in that deleted scene that they just uploaded a few days ago, they're all talking about like the circle game. Like it almost sounds like it's like matter of fact, like this is what they're playing.
I know it's not been announced to them because that's not what's happening. Like,
so that's just them like speculating.
Yeah, that's just them assuming.
For people who don't know, what is the circle? If you want to explain that real quick.
The circle, actually, it's from a movie. But the circle is where you have just a couple of minutes. You've got to talk to everybody in the circle. 1, 2, 3, point, and you have to point at somebody, and that person's dead. They're out of the game. And it goes till you're down to 3 people, and then you're going to point, and somebody's going to drag somebody else out of the circle, and that leaves one person who comes back in the game.
Basically, it's like a really fast version of Survivor, where you're creating a majority or Big Brother, whatever. You're creating majority alliances minute after minute in order to vote people out of the game until you're down to one person left, and that person is going to come back into the game. Obviously, something like this allows for people who have longer relationships, like the people who were in the pre-jury longer, to finagle the game in such a way, basically to rig it, where it would allow them to dictate the way that they want it to happen. And in fact, if you look back to season 2, I think the young boy, Colin, he was the only one who was there at the end of the circle game. Everybody else was like from the first 2 or 3 episodes. Everybody else was like the first 5 people eliminated.
It was Hamza and Hannah and Colin.
Yeah, but also like DJ and
Cindy was there,
and
too,
Cindy were all there, who were all eliminated in the first couple of episodes.
Right, but the final 3 was Colin, Hamza, and Hannah. And Hamza, he talked too good. Whatever, he ended up with it.
So, do we know that it's definitely not the circle game?
No. I mean, I know it's definitely not circle because I've talked to Audrey.
Okay,
I know it's not the circle. Only because I was told there's only a couple challenges that were the same as season 2. And honestly, and thinking about it logically, the circle is so much on building those relationships, like Brent said, from the first pre-jurors and, making those relationships in pre-jury. If they know it's the circle, then guess what? The early pre-jurors are going to have those relationships and they're going to win it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for them to do it again.
In hell, she would do that.
I don't know if Kim would win it. I'm just throwing that out there after all the shenanigans.
Oh, you mean Kimberly, not Kim.
Kimberly. Sorry, Kimberly. Yeah.
She's going to be like this when she gets taken out.
That's my winner pick. That
is Brent's winner pick right there, ladies and gentlemen.
So much hatred that it's just flowing through. And let's address this real quick because Pokemon's bursting at the seams here. Can we talk about Cam's random hatred for Erica?
Oh my God. And Erica,
I don't know where it comes from.
Well, the frustrating part is like Erica is telling the truth. Like 99% of the time, like she's just trying to help these girls out, like get them in a good position to move forward in the game. And just for whatever reason, like from like day one, like I feel like the first confessional that Cameron had about Erica, she's like, I don't trust her at all. She thinks she's in with us and she's not. And I'm like, what did this poor girl do? Like I don't, maybe like we missed something, but like poor girl, I saw her like cooking eggs for like everybody in the morning and feeding everybody. Like I don't know. I don't see the hate, but maybe we're not seeing something. I don't know.
I'm obsessed with Kermit the Frog memes, and there's a Kermit meme where Kermit the Frog is just sitting at a desk like this, and it says, have you ever just met someone and you just hate them? It's just like walk into the room and it's like, no. That meme, it just immediately.
I mean, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Pokey, to answer your question, I don't know why Cameron has a random hatred of Erica. In fact, I don't understand why many of the girls have a random hatred for Erica.
Yeah.
It's probably just one of those things that's like, as long as it's not me, like it's kind of like a group think mentality. Like I'm going to villainize somebody else so that like people don't see me that way. Like it's kind of like a bonding method for people to get together. And I don't know. What do you think, Kim?
If you think back to their preseason interviews, Cameron said she bonds better with guys because she's got all these brothers and everything else, and sports and all that.
Yeah.
So just the fact that she and Tori are together actually kind of surprises me. I really expected Cameron to gravitate more towards the guys. So I think that might be part of it. Maybe she can only handle so much estrogen at once before she goes, okay, time out, I'm done.
Well, maybe she just couldn't go like the guys route because like all the guys at the very beginning were like really broing down about this like huge like guys alliance that exploded in their face.
Yeah, Tracy has a point in the chat. She says that Cameron was dragging a lot of house guests. Which this isn't Big Brother,
True.
but a lot of players in her first confessionals. I think it's just her way, and that's probably true. Pokey also says that it's just a too personal hatred of Erica, like shades of BB15 Alyssa, like nowhere near as bad. So like trying to make the point, like there's obviously something more to this that we just aren't getting that would explain why Cameron has an intense dislike for Erica. But
listen, I work in an office, and there's always one person that like you don't even know them, but it's like I don't know you. I don't like something about you. Don't come talk to me. You see that in the kitchen and you immediately go somewhere else. I mean, it's just you avoid them at all costs.
I guess, but I don't really live my life like that.
Yeah.
So like I can't identify with that. So I'm with the chat in that I don't understand the overall dislike for Erica. In fact, I'll say this, that their continued dislike for Erica has elevated her in my eyes to the point where I'm now rooting for her and rooting against them because I don't understand their dislike for her.
The whole like underdog edit or mentality. But if Cameron is the one eliminated in this battle match with Tori, we'll definitely be asking her that in the exit interview. I'm very curious to see like what she has to say about all of this like hatred towards Erica for some reason. I hope that she makes it though. Cameron was my winner pick. I've been very high on her all season long up until like this week. I think she played this week pretty poorly, but I don't think that her game is done. If she comes back, I think she can definitely still pull out a victory here.
Oh, by the way, before we move on, so Jennifer Drabont at the beginning of this season, and I don't know this person, I've never talked to them before, but I remember they were in the Sequester community group, and the first thing that I remember them ever posting was, I don't really like Kimberly. She seems like kind of a bitch. And I was like, and I remember at the time, this was my winner pick, and the season hadn't aired yet. So I was like, that's a little harsh. Like she's just out there, like she's tweeting about the show and she's posting stuff. Like, of course, like we want contestants who are like this, who are trying to pimp the show out there.
Yeah.
And then Kimberly was eliminated in the first episode, and I was like, what the hell? And then, of course, we've seen the pre-jury stuff that's been happening, and I've slowly been edging off of the Kimberly train to the point where, so now Jennifer points out, Brent, you took me to task for having some hatred for Kimberly, but, do you think that I was now right? And Jennifer, I got that one wrong. I'm just saying, I'm willing to say I got that one wrong. I don't know what I was thinking, picking Kimberly to win. I will say that Audrey texted me and said, I think I even said this with Taryn on the show, like that the next time I have a winner pick to text Audrey and just like, so I don't like totally look like an ass. But I'm like, I'm totally fine with looking like an ass. I mean, that was my read on the cast of the 20 people. I will say that Sam and some other people in the production team also liked Kimberly very much until she decided to go a little nutso. Like,
I mean, like our preseason interview with her was great.
Yeah, we had a blast. And what do you guys think now? Audrey over Thanksgiving holiday released the pre-jury snippet of her having a panic attack.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not willing to buy any of it. She responded in a thread that I responded to her on social media, where I complimented her. She said one of the fans was talking about the fact that there weren't many older house guests on the season, and she pointed out that she's 36 and Matt's like, I forget how old Matt is, but my point was that she looks 26. She looks fucking stunning, and Matt is total zaddy material. And she was like, yeah, I really appreciate that, Brent. It's been really rough with, over the past couple days with people not believing me with my panic attack. And I'm like, I didn't respond to her because I didn't really know how to respond to her, but my response right here, if she's listening, is I can give you a compliment on how you look while at the same time calling you a fake ass bitch for that shit that you're pulling on Sequester. I mean, like, the two things are not mutually exclusive. So I don't understand where that's coming from. Like, I don't have any like bone to pick with her about it. She wants to be on TV. She wants to be seen as a villainess. She's got that in her Twitter handle that she's the season 3 Sequester villainess. So I'm just looking at what she said previously, which Mary Payton Johnson obviously tweeted out as well and pointed out some of the previous things that Kim has said about using emotional instability as a way to manipulate people. And so when you say all of that, we're obviously going to look at anything that happens after that through a very circumspect lens. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand how you can't see that. Now, were you having a panic attack? Maybe. I don't know. If you were, sorry about it. But I mean, to me, it just doesn't. I'm not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, given everything that's happened up until this previously. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and Jennifer pointed out, and I was going to mention this too, Mary Payton explained the panic attack on Twitter, said Kimberly requested for the crying to be filmed. And that is certainly some tea as well. I when I first watched it, I was like, oh man, like Kevin's like really attacking her while she's having this panic attack. Like,
right.
I believed it. But then I saw Mary Payton, who has been very normal, very chill. Like like when she tweeted out that whole like big like response thing saying that she's like going off like whenever there's cameras around, basically, I was like, I kind of believe that instead now.
Yeah, I mean, Kim, Martina, I've never been like, since the season has started airing. I mean, it's plainly obvious what's happening here. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Can we not? Like, isn't that easy enough to do? Like, I realize that we take mental health very seriously now, and not that I don't take mental health very seriously, but we all know what's happening here. Come on.
You know what? When I first saw that, I was like, okay, just with everything combined leading up to it, I was hesitant to believe it. But at the same time, I tend to be a very empathetic person.
Me too.
For the most part. And so part of me was like, oh my God, this girl's having a panic attack. I can't believe. And I was like, wait, hold on. I know Audrey, and I've known Audrey for a long time. And I know that there's a difference between a meltdown that's game related in a confessional, for example, Dina in episode 1,
right?
Versus actually having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Audrey would not. And so I texted her and I said, can you just tell me, is this for real? And Audrey answered back with, what do you think? And I said, my initial thought is, if this were real, it would not be part of a snippet that you're putting out there, because I know Audrey well enough. She would not do something like that to mock a player actually having a full-blown anxiety
That's
attack.
a good point.
And that's what I responded to her. And she said, you're absolutely right. And then I was like, okay. Now I feel bad for her in that I believe that she was very distraught over how people were coming in and going after her. But that's part of the game. I just don't think that it was a mental breakdown without some deliberate actions to go with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it just seems so put upon and so like, I'm sorry, it just seemed fake. Like, I even tweeted in response to, like, is she going for the daytime Emmy here for bad acting? Like, this was really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, really, like, reality TV, terrible bad. Good luck with it.
It's hard to sit through when I played Sequester All Stars and there was an actual minute there when we were playing on floater night with me and another person, she flipped out and went off the rails about people making fun of her and saying all these things.
Oh yeah, I've seen this clip.
Yeah, and to me, that was not a show. This was real, and I felt really bad. People were attacking her on Twitter and saying all these shitty things, and I kind of took it upon myself to kind of stand up for her and go, look, calm down, leave her alone. She had a moment. We've all had moments. The only difference is you didn't have a camera in your face and there wasn't everyone watching it. You know, that's the luxury you have.
Sure.
But when I was watching this with Kimberly, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but at the same time, it just seemed so off center to me. Just something in mixing of the Kool-Aid. Okay. It just didn't seem right. And when I very first started watching, I thought, oh Lord, they're attacking her. Leave the woman alone. And then as I watched the clip, I was like, okay, I get it. I see what's going on here. Let's move on. It's, you know, I don't want to be harsh and say it was for show, but
it was for show.
Yeah, it is.
Why can't we just say that? I'm sorry. I'm okay with saying that.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
The other piece of that, though, is remember, they all think it's the circle, right?
Right. Yeah.
So who's to say that some of that wasn't a sympathy act to try and get people on her side going, oh, poor Kimberly, we can't hold her up
Which
first.
it seems like it's working. I mean, like not to totally drag on Kimberly, but from a reality TV gaming aspect, it seems like that was working with Dina, who says that she has Braden, and we don't know who's going to come back in from episode 4 and episode 5, like who loses the episode 4 battle match and who's going to come in from being voted off in episode 5 and who's going to lose the episode 5 battle match. So there are still ways that Kimberly could create a majority here out of the people that are coming into the cast.
I would want to be in the last spot in the circle with Kimberly, because I know they would probably choose me, a sane person, over this crazy person that they've had.
You know who I think's coming back?
Who? Dina.
I love that you got that on. I was like, where's that shoe at? I didn't know where it was.
Poor Dina's shoe.
Bless her heart.
Listen, we have to improvise because, listen, we almost didn't have Kevin during the interviews, and I'm sitting here scrambling. Okay, we're going to have to interview Kevin's dimples. Who's ready?
Which dimples?
Oh, well, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, some people were wanting us to kind of address that. And that's just kind of how we all feel. It was for show. And, you know, it got our attention and we're talking about it.
Okay, let's talk about more stuff. Can we talk about Tyler?
Oh, hold on. I got
about me?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we want to talk about?
So for those of you who don't know,
I'm in the hot seat now.
I came for Tyler last week, and then he brought it up on the interviews with Kevin and Braden this week, where like he was like, so Brent Wolgamott from RHAP said that I was smoking crack. Which is just my way of saying you're nuts when you're trying to make a point. And you were like, we were talking about the fact that Braden like essentially had to go for the Hail Mary because Braden found out some information back in episode 4. Was it 3? It was episode 3. Sorry, where the duo twist, where he found out that he and Dina were going to be targeted, and once he found out that information. That Tyler said originally on this show that he should have tucked that information somewhere in his crawl and used it for purposes later to be determined on down the line. What I responded with was, bitch, you don't got time for that. You've got like 30 minutes, like the 45 minutes total in the game. Sometimes I found out these contestants even had 20 minutes. Kim, you can talk about this. 20 minutes to determine who they're going to vote for. Like, really, it calls for a sledgehammer. It calls for a much more direct way to go about things. And so after that, you kind of agreed with me. But then, like, as I continued to listen to the show, you really weren't agreeing with me. And in fact, you still tried to have your way. So let's just listen to what you had to say.
Oh, no.
I have it.
Yes.
I hate listening to my voice. This is so awful.
All right, so here we go. Everybody got to be quiet. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear this. But because I'm going to stop it at various times. Here we go. Listen, this is Tyler talking.
Still think, and anybody can come for me in the comments like they did last week. I still, even though like the pace of Sequester is super fast, it's not the same as like Big Brother or even Survivor.
Exactly. You don't even have time to think.
You don't, but like I just really still don't see. And I think that like these people's placement is just all the.
Okay, so first I'm going to stop really quickly right here. So thank God for Debbie, is all I can say, because listening to Tyler, I'm like, he still hasn't learned his lesson. I really feel like he still hasn't learned his lesson. He still thinks you can play this like day to day. And thank God for Debbie being there to set him straight. Like every time Tyler tried to make a point, she would be back in there going, but bitch, you don't have time. And his response every time, honey, I love you, but I'm having a little fun coming for you here. So
No, go for
your
it.
response every time was like, yeah, I agree, but... And I'm like, no, there's no buts. There's no buts. You just say, I agree, I was wrong, bitch, period. But then you continue on, so then you continue talking, and then here, we have more to say here.
Because you have to think, you have 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes left, and nobody's talking to you. What do you...
No, I understand that, but you should ask yourself. You should prevent yourself from getting in that situation to begin with.
So wait. So just to be clear, Tyler says you should prevent yourself from getting in that situation to begin with. Just to be clear, Brayden was fine until he drew the freaking bandana out of the thing. Like, so you want him to draw a different bandana? Like, that's when their fate was sealed. Was when they drew the bandana out of the thing and he got paired with Dina. Up until then, he seemed like he was fine. So I do take issue with your supposition that you're like, well, you have to prevent yourself from getting in that situation to begin with. To hear like me watching the show, I'm like, there's nothing that Brayden could have done to prevent this situation from happening in the first place, Tyler.
I mean,
but wait, there's more.
But hold your butts.
But wait, there's more. There's a little bit more.
I mean, the damage is already done. If you're in that position to begin with, I think of like the past winners of Sequester. I think of Nick. I think of Kim. These were not people that blew shit up. They weren't people that were at the forefront of confrontation.
So we have the winner of Sequester right here. I seem to remember you often getting into it with cast members, Kim, on season 2, to the point where I'm literally screaming at the screen going, you crazy bitch, what are you doing? Why are you like lighting into Hamza? Why are you lying to the Alliance in episode 1? Even like the Alliance said, hey, if we'll give you this jersey, as long as you put Colin into the green jersey, and you said, yes, I'll do that. And then you got the jersey and then you didn't give it to Colin. You gave it to Cameron and openly lied to them.
That is totally different than
that is
literally
not totally
shouting.
Different.
Let me finish. That is totally different from shouting through the rooftops, hey, everybody, come downstairs. I have a house meeting. And let's not forget, we're talking about Brayden here, who is literally Canada's smartest person.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
How's that different from me walking into the bedroom when Cam finally opened the door and confronting Jesse, CJ, Dan, Hamza, Cameron in that bedroom?
I'm not saying that Kim ever called a house meeting. I'm just trying to say that Kim, Martina, the one who I'm talking about right now, and I don't know season 1 well enough, but listening to what Audrey said to me, I have to believe that Nick was in line with Kim in that Sequester calls for a much more ballsier view of the way you have to go about your business on the game. And I don't feel like you're nearly as penalized. In fact, it seems like it often helps you in the game when you call people out and get things out in the open to the point where people understand that there's conflict happening, Kim. So I feel like when you walked into the room when they were trying to keep you out, I think it was like final 9. It's final 9. Right before date night, where they were trying to keep you out and you basically barged into the room and eventually had your way with had it out with these people. Like I feel like Tyler would be the guy on the sideline saying that you shouldn't have done that.
Are we talking about the round where it was Kim and Jake outside of the room and everybody? I think that's a totally different situation.
See, I don't feel like it is.
It is because you are literally like one or two people excluded from literally everybody.
Which
in the
is
house.
what happened to Brayden and Dina. You saw Debbie talking about it in the kitchen.
It was those 4 women. It was those 4 women in the room, and you say that there is nothing he could have done. Like it was just like happenstance. It was chance that he got paired up with Dina and was seen as like a weak target. Maybe he shouldn't have been seen as a weak target before going into this round. Like his perception to these girls was locked in before this twist happened. If he had a better social game with those girls, he wouldn't have had that perception with them, and the target would have been on somebody else.
To me, that's something different than saying he shouldn't be perceived as weak. If you have a better social game, is something that you can control. Being perceived as weak or not, I feel like is something that you cannot control.
I definitely think that's something you can or cannot control. Look at Drew right now.
Yeah, but Drew's a mountain. What are you talking about?
Exactly. He's a mountain, but he's not being perceived as this huge threat in the game.
Oh, well. I feel like Drew would have been voted off if not for Kevin playing as badly as they did in the last episode. Anyway, my point. Here's my overarching point, and I wanted to pull that clip only because I feel like it shows that on balance, you by nature, Tyler, are a pretty cautious player, and I know that you have, because you've said it on the show. I've listened to you guys, and I've also been on with you where we've talked about the fact that you auditioned for Sequester, but you haven't been cast. And I don't know anything. I haven't talked to Audrey about this. I'm just bringing this up for now. But my view on the situation is that she would worry that you're a little too cautious to be on reality TV, like that you're a little too I'm gonna hold back, and she wants somebody who would be wanting to go in there and confront, like she would want somebody like Kim who would open the door and barge in and confront everybody, not somebody who would hang back and decide, I better not do that. I don't want to make people mad. Do you feel like that's fair?
I think that's totally fair, Brent, and maybe that's why I
don't know. I am just saying, because I know that you want to be on the show, and I would love to cover you and just totally come for you. It would be my dream. Oh my God, it would be my dream.
It would be an honor. But I mean, no, maybe you are onto something. Like maybe I think a little bit too much about these things. Maybe I hold a little bit too much to the chest. But
yes, I don't want you to. I want you to I want to light a fire under you and just because you when you're on this show, you're much ballsier. And I feel like that if you could take the Tyler from My Weekly Meltdown and put that guy into Sequester, then you would have a winner.
Sure. I just I just expected more, especially out of Brayden. I mean, I was very high on him preseason, probably higher on him out of any other guy. And
just to stop you really quickly, did you know Brayden at all beforehand? Because I know that he was kind of known in the Sequester community. You didn't know him. Okay.
No. I auditioned. My first time auditioning Sequester was the season that he got on. But obviously I didn't make that one either. So
you're talking about the one back in the day, the online version. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool.
But no, I just I expected more out of him, and maybe something like a similar play style to what I would have done. Just holding it a little bit closer to the chest, maybe seeing this 4 women in the room, and maybe once they're Stop. I'm trying to make a point here, Allison. No, I'm saying maybe instead of him blowing shit up, maybe what I would have done if I were in Brayden's shoes is once those women are out of that room, maybe pull one or two of them aside and say listen, I just overheard what you guys are saying, but I just wanted to let you know, make up a lie, say they were just talking about you before they went into there, stir up a little doubt within that alliance and stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds better than what I thought you were going to do, which was
no. I'm not gonna
that was my biggest.
Just be whatever.
Yeah, that was my biggest my biggest gripe with Dina, who I don't want to come for because she's not here to defend herself. But Dina did absolutely nothing then in that episode. Brayden was actively trying to save them, and I felt like Dina was waiting and hoping. That's what she was doing. She was just waiting and hoping for the best. Well,
and I think she undid some of what. I think Dina would have been better off not saying a word because she undid some of what Brayden was doing. Brayden said, I'm going to cause chaos. Now, keep it in mind, they do not have long, okay? You got to figure if there was 40 minutes, although I think they only had 25 minutes, Brayden said, but we'll pretend it's 40 minutes, 18, 5 minutes per team for you to even talk to them, right? Yeah. That's if you can get them both together. So while Brayden was trying to cause chaos, Dina was over here going, I have no idea what he's doing. I don't know.
She actively said, I don't co-sign what he's doing. I'm not going to do that.
I don't agree with what he's doing. Whoa, hold on a second. So now you've already got a split in your duo because of that. Dina would have been better off just going, you know what?
He's in control. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say this,
I'm
just to defend Dina, she wrote back to me on Messenger and told me that her plan was that she didn't feel like they had a prayer in the world to avoid this vote. And she said that what she didn't want to have happen was for Drew and Erica to be voted out, and then Drew and Erica to pick Brayden and Dina, because then they would have no chance, which if you look at that challenge, I think that's probably true. But
That's probably very true.
But then again, at the time that this was happening, she didn't know what the challenge was for the battle.
Right.
And so
also,
I
mean,
can't.
Drew has already said we would never have, if we had gotten voted out, we would not have taken Brayden and Dina, because that wouldn't have been. He has this whole physical victory thing going on in his head.
Yeah, he would have taken Thomas and who I can't remember who Thomas was paired with.
He didn't want to go against the perceived weakest people, so instead he wanted to pull Thomas and
whoever Thomas was with. I can't remember.
Jessica?
No, Jessica was with Hunter.
Right.
Tori? It might have been Tori. I can't remember who Tori was with. Yeah,
Yes.
it was Tori. Yeah,
It was Thomas and Tori.
Yeah, he didn't like Tori either. He tried to get her out in the first episode. So
Exactly. Yeah. So Brayden and Dina would have been safe.
Yeah, so Medina, I hear what you're saying in that was your strategy, but waiting and hoping is not a strategy. Right. So I feel I really can't give you too much credit for saying, well, I just want to like sit back and let this happen. That way we can have our pick of the battle match when you don't even know what the battle match is going to be. So
right.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah.
It's funny because with, and I hate to keep comparing the two, but it seems like with Big Brother and Sequester, with Sequester, you kind of want to do the things that you get penalized for in Big Brother. You want to call people out, and you've got to do it because it's so fast paced. It's not 3 months. It's not 90 days. It's what, 5 days? With 20 people. And
5
more
days,
people.
2 to 3 cycles a day.
Yeah. Oh, Tyler, what? I see you over
That's
there,
not
what?
an excuse to play sloppy, though. Like you can still play aggressive and play smart. Is the point that I'm trying to make.
I'll agree with you because I think.
Okay.
Brent, I have a question from Pokemon. This is really funny. Who would do better in reality gaming, Tyler or Taryn?
Oh boy, in Sequester, see, like that's the thing. Is it Sequester or is it Big Brother?
He said reality gaming, so I don't know who he would specify.
I mean, I don't know. It's so tough to say because I feel like that Taryn is a little more socially awkward than Tyler, like with like actual people in front of him. And this is no tea. I would say that to Taryn if he was right here.
Sure.
But Tyler, I feel like doesn't have. Like Taryn has a really great mind. Like he's really smart when it comes to strategy. He says
absolutely.
Sometimes he'll say things on the air with me, and I'm like, oh wow, I never even thought about that.
Yes,
way. Like you know, like so. I don't know. It's a very close call. I'd probably have to go with my boy Taryn. Sorry,
that's fine. That's totally fair.
Do you think, Brent? Do you think Taryn would align with me?
Hell no.
No.
Listen, I wouldn't even align with you.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think anyone would align with me.
We're also getting lots of questions.
With you once.
We're also getting lots of questions about what do we think about Jessica? What do we think about Christine? Those are two people we really haven't talked about like too much yet. Of course, we saw Jessica come alive in this last week. What did you guys think about her gameplay?
I mean, I can't say enough good things about Jessica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, she's great. She's fucking awesome. She's a big fan of RHAP. When she came into the room, she was just giggling over meeting me, which I love. Only from the perspective of that means she's been watching the show and listening to Taryn talk in the mornings, and she has a good idea of what she wants to do. I'm really glad to see that watching so much Big Brother, which she certainly does, hasn't hindered her in terms of Sequester. She understands that it's a faster paced game, that she has to move at a much quicker pace. And so, like, all the props in the world to Jessica. She's probably in the top 3 of the people that I would think is a possible winner at this point, just based on like I know that Audrey's editing this season in such a way where you want to have a good sense of who the winner is and why they won at the end. If Jessica wins, like we're going to be able to see it from the beginning all the way to the end.
That's a hot take.
I don't think it was just this last week.
It wasn't just this last week. Yeah.
In the kitchen, she flipped a vote back there. She even came back in the next episode going, I'm taking credit for that one. That one was all me.
Yeah, and the other thing,
Yeah.
like this kingdom twist in this last episode, remember what she did. Okay, Jessica, I'm talking about. She willingly got a majority, 5 other people, to go along with her, not just to overthrow Tori and Cameron. That wasn't the point. It was just to keep Jessica safe. She got a majority of the people to keep Jessica safe and to remember the thing about the twist was that they had to trick the knights. So she got these 5 people to use their social currency and blow that with these knights. Like Jayla and Christine and Erica were the knights, and she got these people to lie to them and tell them, yes, we're going to allow this to go through, when in reality, they weren't going to allow it to go through. And like for her to get them to do that was really amazing to me, because these people who lied to the knights, they know that they're going to have to, like, they're going to have to confront the knights eventually and be like, yeah, I guess I lied to you there. Which for her to be able to get them to do that, to me, that was amazing. I don't know many other people in this cast that would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see much of Jessica in the very beginning, and now we're seeing a lot more of her. And I kind of noticed the tide shift a little bit when she was talking about the LOS that Jay West had.
Yep.
And all that. That's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep my eye on her because I was.
That's going back to day 1.
Yeah.
Of play, when the morning of day 1 of play.
Yeah.
She's had her hands in everything. So one of 2 things happens. Either this girl wins it all, she's going to go all the way to the end with no problem, or they're going to figure it out and someone's going to drag her ass.
And you know what? She hasn't been loud about it. That's another argument. She hasn't come in guns blazing, yelling, calling people out. She's kind of right. And she's doing it the right way.
I mean, that just proves my point that you can play aggressive but not play sloppy.
I wish I could take back every word I just said.
Thank you, Allison, for agreeing with me there.
Allison, stop doing that.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
Shocker.
I had a minute.
You had a minute.
It's the blonde. I don't know.
And then, of course, Christine, I really like what she's doing too.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not as strong on her as Jessica, but I think that there's definitely still something there, something to look out for and to root for as a player in this game.
Yeah,
she
hasn't done as many tangible things, but I still feel like her place in the game is solid.
Sure. And does she need to, like, at this stage? No, I don't think so. No. I think that she can definitely turn it up as the game goes on.
Yep. Anybody else that we have? You have a. What do you think of Drew? You guys, I want to know what you think of Drew, because I feel like he's gonna make it to jury. I really do. And because if they didn't get him out here, I feel like they really don't fear him, which is probably to their own detriment. Which means, like, let's just be real about what that means. That means he's gonna get to the final 4, unless somebody beats him in a battle match. Yeah, I mean, which I don't really see happening, but we'll see. So
I would take this guy to the casinos with me because he's lucky. I mean, how is he still there?
I know.
I mean, it just is amazing to me.
Well, there's one more episode to go, which Hunter talked about this in his preseason interview, where he was like, I just have to get past 5 votes, because then I know that I have an opportunity. Hello, Aunt Jemima. She gets an opportunity. There was another that I saw. There was a rapper that wears this headband that way too.
Tupac.
Yeah, it was Tupac. Oh, Tupac. Okay, cool.
My opinion on Drew is this is the difference between the great casting of Sequester and the awful shitty casting of Big Brother. I mean, like, we have this like alpha male who is playing very well, playing very social, and not being like a douchebag like Jackson or Jack last season in Big Brother. Just the difference in quality of these people is just really, really great. And I think that Drew is playing a very, very good game, especially for the role that he has in this cast as like the stronger like alpha male.
Right.
So very impressed.
Absolutely. I think he got dealt a hand, and he's playing that hand to the best of his ability.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
I said in our pre-game interviews, I thought that he would make it far, that I had a good feeling.
Oh, really?
We had a great interview with him.
Yeah, I had him out like first or
something about him. He just seems like a cat that's got 9 lives. I mean, it just really, it's amazing to me how he's just it's kind of like my son. You could drop my son out of a building and he lands on his feet every time. Me, I break every bone on my body on the way down, just screaming and spazzing out. Yeah. That's just how it is. He's got that about him. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because number one, we've got a hella strong pre-jury going on here.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
So we've got Kevin, we've got Matt, we've got Kimberly, we've got Mary Payton, Dina, Braden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now we're going to have one more, either Tori or Cameron.
Yep.
And then we're going to have one more because the episode coming back is going to be fucking fast. Okay. Like seriously, pee before the episode. Get your drink and popcorn before the episode and sit your butt down because you're not going to have time to get up because they're going to have this battle match and then they're going to turn around and have the challenge.
Right.
And then they're going to vote somebody out who's going to drag two people, who's going to have a battle match. And the show's going to end with a cliffhanger of the battle back.
Yeah, so we're getting all of that in this next
episode. All of that in one episode.
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
Hopefully the twist is like it's like super easy so that it's not like I don't know, it's like it's not being glossed over for all of this that we have to fit into one episode.
Who do you want to come back, Tori or Cameron? Who do you guys think?
Cameron, 1,000%.
I mean, like, I think I'd probably want Cameron from a reality TV perspective, but as I said on RHAP, I feel like that she was probably the bigger person who stubbed her toe strategy-wise in the last episode, and I feel like that if Jay West has taught us anything, I feel like that the reality TV gods are making people pay for bad gameplay, so Cameron, you're probably going to be eliminated in the next battle match, but we'll see.
I have a feeling Tori's going to come back, and it's not because I want her to, I just have that feeling that she will be the one that comes back.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm on a roll picking Survivor winners over here, people.
All right.
So I'm like, don't get me started on where we are with Survivor picks right now. But anyway,
okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Got a feeling. Mama Al's got that feeling. Okay.
Wow, what a dig. Good job, Allison. That was impressive.
Now, I kind of have the same feeling as you because I feel like Tori might end up coming back, but from a storyline, I kind of would rather see Cameron come back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Cameron dug her heels in quite a bit with those 3 nights and kind of dug her own grave a little bit with Erica.
Yeah, she totally did. Remember what she did at the end of the episode? Like Kevin saying his thing about I'm loyal to my people, and she decides, you know what? Like this is Cameron. Cameron decides. Even though everybody knows who he's already talking about, I need to now stub my toe as well and say, y'all know who he's talking about, right? Drew and Erica, remember Drew and Erica? Why are you doing that? You might as well, you might come back into the game and you're going to have to work with Drew and Erica. Like, are you that confident in your abilities that you don't need them to survive the next round if you come back in? I wouldn't be. You just got voted out. What?
And Jessica, she also called out Jessica.
Yes, I know, which was also a bad look. And you could see the minute that she called out Jessica shut her down, and she was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have done that."
It's almost like it's like just take me to the battle match. I'm not going to run my mouth. I'm not saying shit. Let's just get it over with, and we'll prove it there. I'm not going to out anybody.
Nothing good.
Nothing
good can come of you running your mouth after you've already been selected from the battle match. Really, nothing at all.
So if she comes back again, remember how fast Sequester goes. She could or could not end up back in another battle match and be the last one to compete for the battle back.
Yeah.
We don't know. And so that's why, even though my guts kind of tell me Tori, I honestly think that Cameron would be better TV. And I also think it kind of gives a better arc or a better narrative coming into the next.
Because then Erica can be like, "What the fuck was that? Like, why did you just call me out when I was just trying to save you?"
Right?
Confrontation needed.
Yes,
in my life.
we are Team TV over here.
Okay, so last question, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to ask more, ask more. But who do you want to see come back from the pre-jury? Who do we want to have win the battle back?
I want Brayden to come back.
No, Dina's shoe cannot win without Dina.
Just love that picture so much.
Yeah, I probably would be on board with Brayden coming back into the game.
Yeah.
Who else? Like Kimberly coming back would be crazy. I mean, I'm sorry, it could happen.
It could.
It could.
And Kevin also coming back. I would be here for that as well.
I have a feeling it's going to be Kevin. I don't know. I just have the feeling.
Okay.
I have that.
I have the feeling.
I want Mary Payton. I want Mary Payton back in the game.
Well, I love Mary Payton, and she's very sweet and everything, and she's been great everywhere that I've seen her. But like, I just don't feel like we've gotten as far as the show goes, enough of a chance to get to know her. I realize she was, pulled for the battle match at the end of the first episode. That's not her fault. I don't know that it would be as stimulating narratively for her to come back, but but I would be interested to see what she could do.
Kevin, but you know what? Keep in mind that we're talking about these alliances. So you got Jayla, Christine, Jessica, Mary Payton's their fourth from day one, from the very beginning of the show, pizza on the bed, right? So she would have an opportunity to come right back in with them, which would be great. Kevin, I think, would be the best narrative for excitement in the show and to turn shit upside down.
But no offense, but Mary Payton come back in at this point. She's been gone long enough that those alliances or whatever could be dead at this point, and they could just recycle her and go. You know what?
It's only been 2 days though. Like from their point of view, like that's the thing about Sequester. Like it's only been 2 days. Like they just saw her like the day before yesterday. So
that's true. I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Hamza jumped right back in, like hummus on a chip. He was ready for it.
He was like, fly on a turd, man. Let's go.
Kent says that the way that Kevin acted on the interview, he thinks that Kevin is coming back. See, I didn't get that from the interview. I feel like Kevin was trying to make you think that he was coming back, but really he's not going to come back. So you could take it either way.
Yeah. It could be Jay West too. I kind of have a feeling about Jordan too. You don't think?
I feel like his story is done. But then again, he has been like, I think so too. He has been like, I can't wait to watch Sequester. Sequester can't come soon enough. So I don't know if he's like waiting for his return or something. So I don't know.
Regarding speculation based on these exit interviews, let me just be clear. Like pretty much every person that we've interviewed has said like, oh, well, you probably haven't seen the last of me.
Right.
That I've had to edit and cut out. So like, if you're getting that vibe based off of like Kevin in this interview, trust me when I say it is all over the place. These people just want to like fuck with you and think that like they want like you to root for them.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I can't wait for this next episode to come. Actually, we won't even know at the end of the next episode who's coming back. We're gonna have to wait for the episode beyond that to find out who's coming back.
But
I got that vibe from Kimberly. Oh, go ahead, Kim.
At least we'll know who's involved in the battle back, who's come back into the game for
That's true.
Yeah.
So.
And we have an interesting question. We could probably close it out on this if that's our Mars, who's a long follower of ours. Brent, before the show ends, I want to know between Allison, Tyler, and Kim, who would be the best ally for a final two in BB, and who would you try to get rid of ASAP?
I would probably get rid of Kim ASAP.
Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Bitch move, Brett.
She's smart.
Bitch move.
I would probably axe Tyler and then take Allison to the final two and win. So.
Allison, he's calling you a goat. I wouldn't cheer that.
Hey, I'm gonna be in the final two though. I still get a check.
$50,000.
Yeah, this will be Allison's face when she loses.
I'm gonna quote Netta from BB Can, who came right out and
Which
said,
Netta?
Huh?
Yeah.
Which Netta?
Yeah. Oh man.
The one we liked or the one we hated?
The one we hated. No, the one we liked. She's super nice. But she said the worst thing that anyone does is instead of aligning with the oldest player, trying to get rid of the oldest player, because the oldest player is always the most loyal from the start. Karen, Jerry, Rennie, you name them, Kevin.
Yeah, I would say that they're probably. Some of those people are more loyal than not. Like Karen didn't get on board the Ike and Dem train until like halfway through, and then she was like, "Okay, yeah."
But once that older person totally commits to you, they are committed to you.
Yeah.
So getting rid of
that's true. You were willing to go to the wheel for Jake, and then he got picked by the wheel anyway. Remember? Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pokemon says. Sorry, go ahead. Kim. Pokemon says, Allison, are you in the goat army? If Dean is leading that goat army, I want to be in the goat army.
Let's do it. And listen, here's Tyler's face when we blindside his little bitch ass.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it up.
I think so too.
Unless you guys want to add any. Yep, that's theirs. It is.
That's my winner pick.
It's a winner pick. You never know, man. She could come back and win it. And
can you imagine? I'm dogging her. I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot for picking her as the winner, and then she comes back and wins. Can you imagine?
And then Brent's going to be
I'm like, oh, I had it right. See, I knew it.
Despite everything, I was right.
Right? Jennifer Drabont, in that instance, I don't know you. Then I'm like, I'm taking down this footage right now.
And Pokemon, yes, Keisha was more loyal than, well, I don't know. Rennie was pretty damn loyal to Keisha. And Jerry, even though he called Dan Judas, he was pretty loyal to Dan.
You're going home.
Why did Keisha and Rennie have a huge falling out?
So I read this on Reddit maybe like a year or two ago. And it broke my heart. But maybe like a year or two after the show, I believe Keisha had plans to like visit Rennie. Keisha like totally bailed on Rennie, and they just like never spoke after that. Is what I remember. I might be remembering this wrong because it was like a year or two ago, but they don't speak at all anymore from what I read.
That's so bizarre. Like this happened in my family just a couple of weeks ago. I won't say who because I don't want to drag them out here, but like if you're not gonna come, like at least call them and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I life got in the way.
Yeah,
it's really sad. Another time. Like, why can't you just call?
Yeah, because like Keisha and Rennie, that was like one of like the best like big brother friendships ever. Like I still remember that segment where Rennie's saying to Keisha, she's like, Keisha, I want you to be a mother. I want you to be a mother. It's the most special thing to my heart. And I don't know what accent I'm giving her right now, but yeah, I know it's just very sad.
Not a New Yorker.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But I think that wraps it up for us. Closing out, if we had to say our winner right now, who do you guys think it would be?
My winner, I'm gonna go with Jessica. I'm gonna stay ballsy. I think that's the winner.
My preseason pick, and I'm sticking with it, Kristen.
Allison?
Tyler.
Tyler's not playing, is he?
No,
I want him to go.
I'll stick to my guns with my winner pick, Cameron. I think she's gonna win, and I think she's gonna have a redemption story and pull out the win. So we'll see.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna pull it in. I'm going with. Oh, I can't because I have two people I want to say.
Nope, you only get to pick one.
Dina Shu is not in contention.
Okay, damn it. Okay, then that gets rid of the other one. Drew.
Okay,
good pick.
That's it. That's all I got.
I can see it. I can see any of these people winning. Actually,
yeah.
I
agree.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Zach can win. I don't think Ty can win. But
no.
You know, the thing is like Thomas, who ran his mouth about the guidelines and everything, has vanished now. Like he's a mist. And nobody's talking.
You mean on social media, or you mean on like the show?
No, like he's just like nobody's throwing his name around now.
That is the thing about Sequester is you can be the target, and then all of a sudden, because of twists and the fluidity of it, all of a sudden you are not even a blip on the radar. How many times did my name come up? I was targeted like 6 rounds hard. Do you know how many votes I got? In
One.
the entire game,
Yeah.
I got
One.
one vote. Okay, only one vote against me. I got drugged twice, once by Hannah, who still don't know why. And
She's
the other
crazy
time
bitch.
by
She
Amanda,
is.
and we know why.
Yeah.
And so you cannot depend on the edit to determine what's going to happen next. It ain't Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm still torn because my winner pick was Thomas. And
He
so
can
I'm
still win. Like
yeah,
I've been,
good.
like
I'm
I've been
torn.
dragging Thomas left, right, and center for being such a weasel
Mhm.
to the point where he changed his Twitter handle to One Lucky Weasel.
I love that.
But-
It's so funny.
But like his gameplay hasn't been terrible. Like that's the best I can say at this point is
Sure.
that it hasn't been terrible. So like
The other
he's
one-
done what he's needed to do to stay alive, but only because he made some mistakes in the beginning
Yeah.
that he didn't need to make.
I'm just
So,
torn
and-
between him and Drew, I guess.
See, and my sleeper pick is Dustin.
Dustin.
I think Dustin
Miss Romper.
is socially manipulating in the background. They all love him. They all
Well,
laugh at him.
he may be doing that, but to me that's fan fiction because like we haven't seen it. So like I just have to fill it in mentally and be like, oh, I think he's probably doing that, but who knows,
But look, he talked them all off the ledge the last round, going, "You guys, it's good to be the peasants. We
Oh,
hold
yeah.
power."
You have the power. Yeah.
So, I mean, Dustin's he is not dumb.
He's got a pulse on the game. That's for sure.
As long as he can control his emotions in the game, I think that he is my sleeper pick.
You need to. I know you guys have Dina's shoe, but I feel like you also need to have Dustin's romper as a
Yes.
thing.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
We need to have Dustin's romper versus Dina's shoe for a comeback.
Man, who would win that?
Dean
The
Shoe.
romper.
It's amazing.
I
Yeah.
don't know. The shoe could kick it.
Who is that kid, by the way?
Me and Allison send this little shit to each other all the time when we're like annoyed with each other, which happens on a daily
I'm like,
basis.
but yeah, but who? Like who?
All the
Who was that kid though? Like, is he from a
It's just like a meme. It's like a school picture, and he's just
Is
like
it?
so over
Okay,
it.
I was thinking maybe.
He showed
Maybe-
up to school for school pictures in his SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas, and it's like a full body picture. And it started out as a thug life kind of meme with that
Right.
song in the background because
Right.
it's like when it's picture day and you just show up wearing what you want, and then it just turned into Tyler's face.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
We just send these to each other all day. It's just we need lives. Well, he has a live by anyway. So I think that about wraps it up. So we've got our winner picks out there and all of that. We'll be back.
Remember
Yeah,
the
there
board.
we go. There's the chart. Take a picture of that, Kim, and send it to me. I'm going to post that.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
don't mind. I'm going to post it.
And make sure
And-
to include directions on how to interpret it.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Huge thank you to Kim and to Brent for joining
Yes.
us. I've had such a great time talking through everything with you guys. And Brent, you can come for me in the chat any day. I am happy to
Always.
argue
Keep it
with
real.
you. Yes, absolutely. But that's why we love you. And of
Love
course,
it.
check out you and Taryn's coverage of Sequester. You guys are really killing it and bringing in such a great
They
big
are.
new audience to the show, which is really incredible. I saw that you guys had more viewers on the last episode than you do your Big Brother coverage, right?
It was around there, yeah. In
It's
terms of
impressive.
our, I think our Big Brother coverage has gotten up to over 5,000. I think on the
Great.
show that Kim was on, we had over 5,000 people
Yeah,
watching. So
that's great.
it's gotten up
Yeah.
in that area around 3,000 to 5,000 people, but it's definitely more than our Survivor live coverage that
Yeah.
gets. So I was really, really happy to see that. Not because I give a shit about how many people are watching my dumbass talk about Sequester, but I give a shit that people are learning about Sequester, the game, and then checking out the season because of that. So
Yes.
that's really great. It's just the power of
Yeah.
Rob as a podcast and Rob's sister,
Yes.
in general. That's really all it is. So
And-
we're glad to, put in any little bit of effort we can to make people understand about Sequester and learn a little bit about the show. Sorry,
And
Kim,
you
go
know-
ahead.
We are so close on YouTube to hitting 10,000
Yes.
on the Sequester channel.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Go subscribe,
Please.
comment, like, do all those good things. It only takes a second as you're watching, And it really does make a difference.
Yeah, what they're talking about is for the Sequester Access channel, where all of the Sequester episodes are posted, it regularly gets over 20,000, 30,000 views for episodes, but yet they're still trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. So if you're somebody out there who watches Sequester, but you aren't subscribed to the Sequester channel, just hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll get notifications if you hit the bell about when the next episode, like you want to know when the next episode comes out. So make sure you subscribe.
You got to hit that bell because I'm sitting there holding my stuff waiting for that little notification to pop up when the episode posts on Sunday nights. So, go over, subscribe to Sequester Access. The show airs Sunday nights at 7 Central, give or take a few in Audrey minutes. And check it out. And look, My Weekly Meltdown, we go live after it's over and we do a little quick recap, which has turned into like a whole hour thing. So you can join us, and hopefully within a couple of days, we'll have interviews with the Eliminated House guests. And please go over to Rob Has a Podcast and watch
a podcast.
I don't know what I'm talking about. And watch Taryn and Brent on Monday nights. What time does your show
Monday
come on?
nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
At 9 p.m. Eastern. Check them out as they recap the episode. They're great. I love it. I absolutely love Rob and all of them over there. They're amazing.
Am I able to type over here in the chat because Pokemon asked what episode I was on? It was on August 28th. I can tell you that because it was my son's birthday.
Oh, cool. Excellent. I wasn't sure about the date, but yeah.
And I don't think, but if you go to Rob Has a Website, and then it has podcasts up the top, and there's a drop down, go to Big Brother, and just hit the little magnifying glass, type in Kim Matina, and it comes up.
Yep,
it's
it'll
the
come
only
up.
one.
Yep. But not the only one in the future. I'm sure we'll have you back, Kim.
Oh,
I hope I want to get on there for BB Can.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'd love that.
Awesome.
I love BB Can.
Well, guys, please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown if you want. You can hit the little bell and get a notification when we go live if you feel like it. We're kind of Rob Has a Podcast, annoying little sister that just won't go away. But follow us. We have a little Instagram page, My Weekly Meltdown, and a little Facebook page, and go like that. And you can subscribe to us. You can follow Kim at Kim Matina and Tyler at T Lyons. I'm at Summers 1977 on Twitter, and that's SOMMERS 1977. And you can find Brent on Twitter at One Lucky Gay. Correct?
Yep. One Lucky Gay.
Yep. One Lucky Gay. And also on Rob Has a Podcast, #RHAP. Guys, thank you so much. And if you follow us for Survivor coverage, we will be live this Wednesday at 9/8 Central, immediately after Survivor Idol the Islands airs. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Kim. We love you guys to death. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.